Subscribe to LearnCab and hit the bell icon to get notified.
Hello, welcome back my dear professional students. Today we'll be discussing on a very important topic called as joint products and byproducts. So joint product method of costing, how to apportion the joint cost, what is joint product, what is a byproduct, what is the difference between joint product and byproduct, and what are the features of joint product, and what are the different methods and techniques which are used in joint product costing. So these are some of the things which are very important, and let us discuss on these things first. So first of all, let us understand what is a joint product. So when two or more products that are produced from the same raw material, that is called as joint product. So if you ask a company's objective may be to manufacture 2-3 different types of product by using the same raw material. So here raw material is something which they are using it, and they are manufacturing different products from the same raw material. So it's not that the entire raw material will be used in the manufacturing of the same process, but the common purpose of using that raw material is up to a certain stage called as a point of split off. So once you reach that point of split off, you get different types of product. So that different types of product has its own uniqueness in the market. That is, it has a marketability, it has a saleability factors or features involved in it. So how do we cost it? Because if the different products have different marketable values or saleable values, or different product have different profitability values. So how do we cost this? How do we take the same raw material cost which has come up to the point of split off? In common terms, it is called as joint cost. So how do you apportion this joint cost between different products which emerges after the point of separation? That is what the entire concept or third method of joint costing is all about. So joint product, two or more products that are produced sharing the same production process up to what is called as split off point or separation point. So it involves not only raw material, any other extra cost which is coming in that process. So everything will be incurred up to a certain stage. So after that stage only, post split off stage, we try to find out different types of products which emerges, and after that also there is additional cost which will be involved for each of the products. So that is called as post separation cost. So we'll discuss only about joint cost as of now. So what is joint cost? Joint costs are the cost incurred up to the point of separation. So it's a common cost. Before you start actually visualizing a products, different types of product for which your objective is resting upon, whatever the cost you incurred right from the stage of procuring the raw material, pushing it in the same process, and continuing the process till a split off point. After that, different products emerges. So how do you calculate? What is this joint cost? How do you apportion this joint cost when you get a final products which has a different marketable value? So apportionment of joint cost is what is very important in this joint cost costing. So we'll go to the details things, and I've given just one small example to make it very clear how the what is the concept of joint product is all about. Take example of crude oil. So crude oil is a raw material for all our products, main products like petrol, diesel, kerosene, gasoline, all these things. See, these are the products which emerges from the crude oil. So crude oil is the common raw material which needs to be processed in order to get petrol, diesel, all these things. So when we procure crude oil and when we move it into a process, up to a stage, we need to continue with the same process. Then only after that process ends, right? That is called a split off. So once that we reach the point of split off, then different types of product emerges. Let us say petrol is the first product which emerges, followed by diesel. So then followed by gasoline, and the last one kerosene. So like this, a product emerges in the continuous process of converting that crude oil into different main products. So here the objective of the company is to manufacture not one product, it's different products. So the objective is multi-products. You are focusing on all the main products. So whatever the products you are manufacturing, right, what the objectives of the company is lying upon, that is called as joint products. But the question arises here, so how do you apportion that crude oil cost to petrol, diesel and kerosene like this? So how do you apportion this cost? Because it's a common cost. Crude oil is a common raw material cost. Up to the point of split off, it needs to be apportioned, right, to some extent, because after split off there is a post separation cost which can be directly charged to that particular product itself. But the question arises, how do you apportion the cost which is of crude oil, that is the basic raw material which you are using in the process? So this is where the joint product costing plays a very important role, and it tells you how to apportion this cost and what are the methods you can use, because this has a very significant importance on your marketing values, on your saleable things, and also on the profit part. And it's very important that we study the methods and what is the best method we can use in order to apportion the cost under different circumstances. So that is all what we study in joint costing. So let us go to the basic features. What are the features of a joint product? So let us understand what are the first feature. First feature is it is produced from the same basic raw material. First you manufacture the joint product, whatever the raw material you use, right, it is the same unique raw material. If I want to refresh what we studied in the last example, crude oil is our basic raw material. So the process, if you want to get either or any of the four products, you need to first process the crude oil. So that is the basic raw material. So it starts from the basic raw material and the basic process under which it moves. It's all unique thing. The second thing very important is its equal importance. That is, what is equal importance here means the product which emerges, right, everything has its equal importance in the market. So for a company, it's equally important that I manufacture petrol, or equally important that I manufacture diesel, equally important that I even manufacture kerosene or gasoline. So it's equal importance. Whatever the product which emerges from the basic raw material, right, the final product which emerges, each has its own unique importance for the company. That is what it's called as equal importance. Equal importance in terms of the product getting into the market, the pricing part, the profit part, and the share part or the volume part, whatever we are talking about. So that is equal importance. The third one, produced simultaneously by a common process. So it's not that you manufacture petrol separately, diesel separately, all those things. So as a objective of a company, the process first starts with a simultaneous thing. So the petrol and diesel, it all happens simultaneously. It's not that first you manufacture petrol, then after that you manufacture diesel, or after that you manufacture kerosene, like that. No, it's all simultaneous process which is happening subsequently. Okay, there is no link between your diesel and your petrol manufacturing, or there is no link between your kerosene and your petrol manufacturing, like that. So it's all different thing which happens after the point of split off, but they all happen simultaneously. At one point of time you manufacture petrol, at the same point you are even manufacturing diesel, at the same point you are manufacturing gasoline, like this. It happens simultaneously. So it's a continuous thing which happens in the process. So we are concerned about what happens after is not the thing which we are looking at. What happens before separation, that's very important in joint product costing, because that is where joint cost emerges. How to apportion that joint cost? What are the methods of apportionment? That is very important for us, because it's a common cost which needs to be segregated, giving importance to the product. So that is where the important question lies. How do you segregate? How do you apportion the cost, whatever the joint cost of raw material which is used in the same process in order to manufacture different product is there, right? How do you apportion that? That is the biggest challenge. What is the method we need to use? What are the different methods which are there, and which are the practically applicable method under what circumstances? Those are the important questions which needs to be answered in joint product costing. That is what we study today in joint product. So the last point, it may require further processing after point of separation. As I told you, so crude oil up to a point of split off, it emerges as a basic raw material. After that, if I want to manufacture kerosene, it's a different product altogether, and whatever the left out crude oil is there, after filtering, after getting into all this petrol, diesel and all, so it's an end product which can be used as gasoline or kerosene. So there is a separate technology or separate techniques or separate process which you need to follow after the point of split off. So at the point of split off, it is a case where the product emerges, different product emerges with different market values and different significance emerges. But there is a process which is involved after separation also. So we are least bothered about that part as of now, because after separation, whatever the cost you are incurring on petrol, that will be directly charged to petrol. So whatever the cost after separation you are charging it for diesel, that will be directly charged to diesel, because you know that cost belongs to diesel, you will incur for the diesel cost. So you know that that particular cost after separation belongs to petrol, because it's a unique process, you will just identify that cost with that particular petrol. But what do you do with the crude oil cost, which is the main thing which is coming into the process up to a certain stage when the project emerges, when the product emerges? So that is where it's relevant that how do we apportion the cost. That is what we study in joint product costing. So this is very important thing which you need to remember. So there is a joint cost, there is a split off point, and there is a subsequent cost. So what is this joint cost? Joint cost is the raw material cost which is uniform or unique for all the process, simultaneous process which we are doing, right? So till the point of split off, whatever the cost you have incurred, whatever the cost you have incurred till the point of split off, that is called as joint cost. So after split off, that is, a split off is a point where the different types of product emerges. So that is a stage from where your different types of product emerges. So till that point of split off, it is called as joint cost. After the point of split off, it is called as separation cost. This separation cost or subsequent cost or post separation cost can be easily identified with the product, final product what you are manufacturing. So all products have equal importance. Please remember, all products have equal importance, because all products has its own market values. It is known in the market that this is a product. So people recognize the product. People know the uniqueness of the product. So once after you reach the point of split off, that is the stage where you are supposed to calculate the post subsequent cost. Next we will talk about the difference between joint product and byproduct. So what is a joint product and what is a byproduct? So till now you understood what is a joint product. Let us now understand what is a difference between a joint product and a byproduct. Sometimes it's confusing. Many of them confuse that joint product, byproduct and main products are same thing. No, it's not like that. So main product is the objective for which the company exists to manufacture. So let us say a company has an objective of manufacturing only product A. That means if you manufacture a product A, then it is a main product. But if the company manufacture product A, B, C from the same raw material, then A, B, C becomes a joint product. So if the company, let us say, has in the process of manufacturing A, B, C, also there was a product which emerged from the process called as D. So company's objective is not to manufacture D, but in the process of manufacturing ABC, there arises a product called as D. So that D is called as a byproduct, because the intention or the objective of company was not to manufacture D, but it emerged in the process of manufacturing. The objective is only on A, B, C. The company's objective or focus is to manufacture A, B, C product. But in the process, if it results in emergence of product D, that product D is called as a byproduct. So let us see what is the difference here. So joint products are equal importance. As I told you earlier, if you go back to the example what I gave you earlier, right? So the example was about the crude oil which results in petrol, diesel and kerosene. So here petrol, diesel and kerosene has its equal importance in the market in terms of volume, in terms of sales, in terms of marketability, in terms of price, in terms of profit. They have their unique things in the market. So they have their equal importance. I need to give equal importance to manufacturing all these products because it has its own market values. But when you talk about byproduct, I never thought of manufacturing it. It resulted in the process. That's it. It came as a when I was doing a process, yes, something resulted in that, which has a market value or which doesn't have a market value. Sometimes there is no sales value. Sometimes there will be little bit of sales value. So I'm least bothered about that. So if there is some sales value, okay, I'll sell it and I'll realize the cost. Or if there is no sales value, I'll just go and dump it as a scrap or waste, which doesn't command any price for me. So in simple terms, I can call it as it has a very small or no economic values. So it doesn't command any economic value, or if it commands also, it will be a very small economic value which it commands. So that is the difference, first difference between a joint product and a byproduct. The second very important differentiation between joint product and byproduct is joint products are produced simultaneously. So that means you manufacture petrol, diesel and kerosene as a simultaneous process. Okay, so it is not that once you are done with petrol, you manufacture diesel. Once you are done with diesel, you manufacture kerosene. It's not like that. So it is simultaneously done. The process happens simultaneously because everything is systematically driven here. The manufacturing process is set in such a way that one product which emerges and the next product emerges and the third product emerges. This happens in a simultaneous manner. The process takes its own turn and it keeps on working on manufacturing these products. But when it comes to the question of the byproducts, the products are produced incidentally in addition to main product. That means I did not plan for this, but out of my experience, I know that yes, this will result, but there is no proper plan for me to manufacture that. My intention is not to manufacture a byproduct. So I am clear with my objectives. My clear objective is I want to manufacture A, B, C. But if D arises, okay, that is incidental. Okay, it's incidental because once all the raw material is used, there is a chance that something may arise at the end, that is D. So that D is not something which has arisen because of my planning or because of my forecast or something like that. It arises because of the normal process. It will happen. It is a normal process through which the D arises. So whatever the D arises, right, that is incidentally to addition to my main product. So it is not planned, or I don't know, or sometimes yes, it's expected that this will arise, all those things. So that is the last difference, simultaneously and incidentally. So these are the two important differentiation what you need to understand.
Subscribe to LearnCab and hit the bell icon to get notified.